Hello dear students, welcome to the another video tutorial. We have seen the connective tissue, the general idea, the cells from the connective tissue, the three main types: fibroblast, macrophages, mast cells, and now we are going to see some fibers which are involved in the collaboration with the connective tissues. There are three types of fibers which are generally seen in the connective tissues, that are the first one are the white or collagenous fiber. These fiber are the non-elastic, and the heavy bundles of these fibers are located in between the tendons or the connective tissues, which are helping with connect one bone to the another bone, or connecting one tissue with the other. Usually, these white collagenous fibers are about 1 to 20 micrometer in diameter. These are the branched and gives strength to the uh, tissue, which these collagenous fiber are present in those tissues. Newly produced collagen are white in color, so the name is given as a white collagenous fiber. The chemically, this collagen is nothing but the protein containing or made up of various amino acids, and you can see these in picture. These are the collagen fibers, that means the thread-like structures underlined or highlighted by the green color, and these highlighted collagenous fiber are situated in between the this tendon. This is a TS of a tendon, and these collagenous fiber tissues, these collagenous fiber cells are situated in among the intercellular spaces between these uh, connective tissue itself. The second one is a reticular fiber. Reticular fiber is a thin fiber which are small branching fiber, forms a network, form a network or a reticulin, is known as a reticulum. The thin thread-like structure you can see in the picture, the thread-like oozed out from the uh, cells, and these are surrounded by the various cells among this tissue, and these fibers are branched, and it's mainly occur in the glandular organs, means the glandular organs means the glands itself. It contains reticulin as its main constituent, and have affinity for the silver stains. Silver stains means the silver oxide or silver carbonate. These are the two main silver stains used in the histology, and these stains are very costly stains. These because the silver contained in it. Okay, the argyrophilic fibers means the fiber which have affinity towards the silver stain or silver vital stains, hence called the argyrophilic fibers. And these argyrophilic fibers, that are nothing but the reticular fibers, gives mechanical support, and located around the arteries, your liver, kidneys, etc. Means where there is an the uh, arteries, your blood support is there, where there is a need of a numerous strength, where like the liver, your kidney, and most of the organs which are there, and this reticular fiber is giving support to the various forms of the organs itself. The next one, third one, is an elastic fiber. This is a single thin branching and highly elastic in nature. The elasticity is the property of these fibers that are to expand its length is known as the elasticity, and these elastic fibers are present in the bundles as well as the form the mesh like network, and these are in fresh state they appears yellow, hence they they are named as yellow fibers or yellow elastic fibers. These elastic fibers found in the loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue itself are the elastic type of tissue, and this elasticity of that tissue is originated or generated by the yellow elastic fibers. These thread like these fibers are situated in the gaps and fills the gap of the tissue, and chemically the elastic tissue contains of mucopolysaccharides and proteins known as elastin. So elastin is a protein which are elastic in nature, and it gives the elasticity for the particular tissue itself. With a large number of amino acids present in the elastin, the specific type of amino acids are come together and form one protein known as a elastin, formed by the fibroblast and smooth muscle cells. We have seen the fibroblast is situated and incorporated. Their particular position is fixed, and these elastic fibers are stretchable, and it gives the elasticity or the flexibility for the tissue, and these located in the smooth muscles. These are the one example of the elastic fibers, and so many examples are there for the elastic fiber itself. The second parts are the ground substances. The cell and fibers of a connective tissue are embedded or anchored. Anchored means it is packed, it's anchored, which cannot be moved. It's anchored in amorphous non-cellular material called ground substances. Amorphous is a property of that particular ground substance. Is amorphous means the powdery like structure. We can say as amorphous. Non-cellular material called ground substance. It's also called as interstellar matrix. Interstitial means it's also called as interstitial matrix. Interstitial means the situated at the base. It is a viscous ground substance, is a viscous or a thin jelly like fluid with the hydrophilic property. Hydrophilic means they are phobic of water molecules, means they are scared of water. Composed of a number of mucopolysaccharides. Again here the composition of these ground substances by the mucopolysaccharides of sulfated and non-sulfated groups. Hyaluronic acids. These the content of the ground substances is the hyaluronic acid and chondroitin and dermatin sulfate and keratin sulfate itself. We have seen the originating of the keratin in the keratinized epithelial tissue. The keratin sulfate is also the sub part of these ground substances. It is important for the changes in the viscosity and permeability of the ground substance and the ground substance or the tissue itself. So you can see in the picture the highlighted in a green color the interstellar matrix, which is situated at the base of this tissue and which is known as the ground substance. So classification of a connective tissue proper. Now we are going to come to what is the connective tissue proper and its classification. So the connective tissue propers it means the it's said that the connective tissue uh, after the maturation from the embryonic conditions to the adult one or the fetal conditions is known as the connective tissue proper. That means the proper modification from the embryonic condition, that is the mesenchymal cells, towards the connective tissue, which is the main property for the supporting of the organs. And there are two major types of the connective tissue proper. uh, First one is embryonic connective tissue proper. That means the embryonic means when the developmental stages occurs for the fetus, from the embryo to the adult fetus, and then it is uh, um, up to the time of the birth itself. The embryonic condition tissue proper, it is of two kinds. Again, embryonic tissue proper is divided into the two types, that is a mesenchyme, which we have seen in the previous part of this chapter itself, that the mesenchymes are the unspecialized uh, cell from the mesoderm that float in the fluid of a primary germ layer of mesoderm and forming a diffuse network, that is a mesenchyme. And they are irregular in shape, in and some of them shows amoeboid movement, that some of them are movable or wandering cells. Afterwards, they get converted into the adult connective tissues in the proper after the birth of a fetus itself. Then the mesenchyme, you can see in the picture, that is highlighted in the green color and pointed by the yellow arrow. These cells are situated, and these cells, mesenchymal cells, after the birth is properly converted into the adult connective tissues. And second one is a mucous connective tissues, that is mainly the situated in the umbilical cord. Umbilical cord is nothing but the we say the naad in Marathi. So umbilical cord is the tube-like structure which is connect the mother uterus to the uh, to the fetal uh, stomach. And this tube is generally this specifies, or this tube is or the umbilical cord so called is circulating the food substances by means of the that path, and um, also take care that the some of the hormones are also secreted or from that the umbilical cord to the various the fetal fetal organs are grown properly. So umbilical cord plays a major role in the uh, hormone secretion itself in the mother, for the mother body and the fetal body, both uh, the proper substances. As a mesenchymal cell adult and get converted into the fibroblast in fetus. Mucous tissue get formed into the umbilical cord, and the ground substances becomes more viscous. Okay, you can see in the picture that the this is the slide of the umbilical mucous connective tissue, and below that the red one, the circled is the um, uh, uh, slide, the tissues which you have seen, that are the blood cells. Okay, you can identify itself as a TS of this umbilical or the mucous connective tissue. And these mucous connective tissue are no longer present after the birth of the fetus. So these are the specific type of the uh, connective tissue which are originate, or which are um, for the particular function or a particular proper uh, proper maintenance of the fetal itself. So these are no longer present after the birth, but the mesenchymal cells are get converted into the adult connective tissue. The second one, the second main type is adult connective tissue, which are originated from the mesenchymal cell itself. It classified and differentiate different types based on the proportion, kind of a fiber, arrangement of the adult connective tissue, and the compactness of the adult connective tissue in the matrix, and what type of matrix it is situated in, and the cellular elements, what kind of cellular elements are present in the adult connective tissue. So the first type of the adult connective tissue is a loose connective tissue. It's also named by the areolar tissue. It is widely distributed, composed of intercellular fibers and ground substances. Relatively, the fluid-like substance is ground substance we have seen in the last slide itself. It is widely distributed among the loose connective tissue, and intercellular fibers are loosely arranged, hence called as a loose connective tissue. The intercellular fibers of the loose connective tissue are not so compact or not so rigid that uh, they are loosely situated among the loose connective tissue, and these tissues are the amorphous in nature, which is also called as adipose tissues. uh, it's also known as the adipose tissue, and the other one, there are other two examples of adipose tissues itself, the white adipose tissue and the brown adipose tissue. But these cells are also stores fat, and it stores energy for the betterment of the our body, which are also called as the adipose tissue due to presence of fat cells in the large number of fat cells are present in the loose connective tissue. Loose connective tissue are located under the epidermis of the skin, that is the parietal fat, which is stored in the under the epidermis. That is the fat stored under the epidermis, the skin, is known as the parietal fat. It helps healing, wound healing, and and presses nutrients and other metabolites. It also protects our internal organs from the damage or the injury itself. As you can see in the picture, the tiers of the loose connective tissue is shown. Hence, we are looking at these all tissues by the histological perspective, that the loose connective tissue is highlighted in the green color, and these green color loose connective tissues are the uh, fiber ground substances, is fluid like and it amorphous in nature, you can see. The second type of the adult connective tissue are the dense connective tissue. Dense means what? The it can be easily located. So occur in the form of the sheet or a band or a card like structures. The sheet means the we can see the plane surfaces of the sheet, like these tissue are located in the first picture. The densely regulated arranged tissue, you can see these are this whole slide is of uh, the dense connective tissue, which is irregularly arranged in the form. That means that they are scattered all over the tissue itself, and characterized by the close packing. There's a compact, not so compact, but the close packing of its collagenous fiber are seen. But in the some cases, such as the ligaments and the elastic fibers are predominant, that they have this such a kind of the dense connective tissues, and they are very pretty much helping to moving our movements, and we can walk by the help of the our legs. But if we have injury to the our tendons or the ligaments, we cannot move. The inflammation is very much occur over there, that the two bones are rubbing, and they cannot they cannot able to take our weight. So these ligaments and the tendons are very important for our movements, or the of our hands and the other things. The close packing of its collagen fiber, but some cases ligaments and elastic fibers are predominant. The example of the dense connective tissues are the um, dermis capsules of certain organs. Ligaments are present in the bone, connect one bone to the another other bone, and gives a mechanical support uh, to our legs, our joints, hands, etc. And the tendons, the basic difference in the ligaments and the tendons is nothing but the, if you are moving your hand, uh, if you are moving your hand, so we can able to the movement of this hand because of the tendons. Okay. And and these up to these elbows or the our knee is get specialized by the ligaments. These are the two main differences. These moving these veins like structure we can see here, that are nothing but the tendons. It has two subtypes: dense irregularly arranged tissues that are the scattered all over the um, sheet like or a band like or card like structure. And the other one, this is the slide or the picture of the ligament, uh, which are, you can see the, these are the compact structures, not like not scattered, and these are the compact, and provide a thickening for the mechanical strength. The third type of the adult connective tissue is reticular connective tissue. The reticular fibers are present in the reticular connective tissue. They are argyrophilic. Again, these reticular connective tissues have the affinity to the silver dyes or silver stains, form, forming a branch mesh like network in the liver, spleen. These are the two organs which are mainly focused by the reticular connective tissue, uh, the liver and the spleen. The hematopoietic tissue produces erythrocytes, leukocytes in the bone marrow, that we are going to see in upcoming lectures, that the how hematopoiesis occur, and the how the erythrocyte, that are nothing but the red blood cells, uh, are originate, or leukocytes, that is the where different type of the WBC white blood cells are originate, or which type of a bone are there, or which type of a, which sort of a bone marrow, or which type of a bone, the location of that bones which are producing the erythrocytes or leukocytes, we are going to see in upcoming lectures, uh, so you have to stay tuned. The reticular tissue are phagocytic in nature. We have seen the process of the phagocytosis in last lecture, that the reticular connective tissue also helps in the scavenging activity, and these are the phagocytic in nature. So you can see in the slide of the reticular connective tissue is mentioned over here and highlighted in the green color. So you can see the surroundings are the some muscle fibers, or these big patches are nothing but the muscle tissues, and the these reticular connective tissue is situated and giving a mechanical support to the, or the connecting the one muscle fiber to the proper as a muscle, developed muscle, we can see. And the fourth type of the adult connective tissues are the pigmented connective tissue. As you can see, the pigment is nothing but the color, or these two type of pigmentosa are seen, that the brown or a black. So what happen? It occurs in a choroid and iris of the eye, or it's also present in our skin. The dermis of skin of black races, which are we mainly see from the African countries, like the Tanzania, Kenya, or the West Indies. These people are uh, they very much pretty much content present in the dermis. That is, the substance is known as the melanin, and this melanin protein occurs the darkening of these skin color. As you can see in the tissue, this picture of these tissues, the melanocytes are the cells which are the cells of these pigmented connective tissues, and these melanocytes is oozing, secreting something substance is known as the melanin, and these melanosomes are get collected, or these situated uh, among the each cell, and the basal keratinocytes are the one the cells of these tissue that uh, passing the pigmentosa, the pigments of these connective tissue. So we have at the surface of the these two types of the uh, pigmented tissues, that the lighten the skin, the lightening of the skin and the darker skin, these two sides, and the um, in the upper keratinocytes are the basic differences in these two pigments are the whitish one and the blackish keratinization is happen. So that's why the very much differentiated in the vision of as a light skin and the dark skin itself. So fifth, as I said earlier, the reticular connective tissue is one of the adipose connective is an one of the adipose tissue. But there are special type of adipose tissues are there in our mm, the mammalian concern. The energy storing, these adipose tissue are nothing but the energy storing tissues consist of the adipocytes. Adipocytes are the cells of these adipose tissue, mainly known as adipocytes. These adipocytes filled with the lipid, that is nothing but the fat, and with a small amount of the extracellular material. Okay, so in this tissue, the intercellular material of these tissues are uh, pretty much concentrated, and the vesicles are in enlarged in this type of tissues and type of the adipocytes, so that they can store more or more lipid or the fat in them. So there are two types of the adipocytes or the adipose tissue, that are the white adipose tissue and the brown adipose tissue. Okay, the white one you can see in the first picture highlighted in the um, green color, and these are the very much in abundance of these tissues. These white predominant in adults, store energy, uh, and provides a cushion and the protection, protect the organs, uh, and act as an endocrine organ in some part that by secreting some hormones, and it's also distributes into the two types, that is the visceral fat and the parietal fat. The visceral fat is nothing but the visceral fat is situated or located at the fat on the organs, and the parietal fat is nothing but the your subcutaneous fat. Uh, so these are two type of the white adipose tissue that or the fat is known as the visceral fat and the parietal fat. The next, the second type of the adipose connective tissue are the brown adipocytes or the brown adipose tissue. So these tissues, each cell contains the multiple fat droplets. You can see in the first one that the white adipose tissue, there are only singular vesicle which are uh, which are which can be enlarged, which can in the elastic vesicle. So it can be the lipid or the fat is collected in the one particular vesicle itself. But uh, in concern to the brown adipose tissues, that these brown adipose tissues are the tissues which have the more than a one multiple fat droplets or the micelle forms in the brown adipocytes. Nucleus is centrally placed, and the big nucleus you can see in the slide, or the TS of the these brown adipose tissue. The brown adipose tissue, also named as the baby fat. So you should know this concept is very interesting concept about the baby fat. Is after the birth, uh, the healthy wealthy child having uh, the visceral hump or the fat hump on the between the two shoulders in his back side. Okay, so brown this fat layer is of the brown adipose tissue. And what happens uh, in a severe cold, these brown adipose tissue generate heat, pretty much heat, so that the if you kept a baby into the 0 degree Celsius as a naked, but this baby shivers and they generate heat from these brown adipose tissue, and so hence they are known as the baby fat in humans or the other mammals, and found in the uh, these brown adipose tissue in the adult condition, found in the some hibernating mammals. So this is the very differentiative uh, difference in the white adipose and the brown adipose. So we are going to stop here, and we are going to see the next upcoming lectures on the connective tissue itself, and so we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.